Hi, today I will show you how I 3D printed and painted this werewolf. I am Medic 3D and I do a lot of 3D printing related stuff. This is the werewolf bust I downloaded for free from my mini factory. It was created by White Werewolf Tavern. Links to the files and their Patreon site in the description below. Because I am using Prusa i3 Mark 3S FDM printer, I decided to scale the model 250% for the better results. The bust was angled at about 45 degrees and I added automatic support. Now it's just a matter of slicing it using Prusa Slicer 0.1mm detail profile. For printing I am using cheap generic grey PLA, which was not the best idea. During printing the bust I was able to spot a really strange clock. The filament was very poorly joined. It was the first time ever I saw something like that. I guess that's a good reason to print with proper quality filament. You got what you pay for. However, I was really lucky because after removing the issue the print continued. It's time to take the werewolf off the printer's plate and start printing the base. Before removing the supports, remember to always wear eye protection, just in case. After cleaning the werewolf I had to use CA glue to reinforce the top parts and then wood filler to patch the holes. When the filler dried, it's time for some sanding and cleanup. Afterwards, it's ready for the next step and the base is printed and ready to be taken off the plate. Time for priming. I am using black primer and an airbrush. I recently got my first one and it is a game changer. In the past I used primers in cans. They are okay, but for small objects airbrush is much more convenient. However, for helmets and bigger stuff I will still use a can. Now the most challenging part, at least for me, which is painting the werewolf. I am not a miniature painting expert and to make my life easier I used painting at Thunderwolf video by Warhammer as a reference. Because I do not have all the shades of brown, I decided to mix my brown paint with black one to receive a dark brown tone. But it did not quite work as expected. I got dark greenish olive color. It's too late to complain, so I just go with it. After the first coat is dry, it's time to mix some lighter brown, or olive in my case, by adding less black paint than before. The third coat was mixed using just a little bit black color. Next, I use black paint to create a streak on the werewolf's back. When everything is dry, I dry brush the bust using brown color. I wipe the brush on a paper towel and gently brush the high spots. To blend all the colors together, I am using Agrax Earthshade. Next is dry brushing again and waiting for the paints to dry. Finally, it's time for the details: nose, eyes, tongue, gums and teeth. It is similar process to the previous one: base coat, shading, dry brushing. Painting the base is much easier. First I painted the wooden floor using 2 coats of brown paint, next silver for spikes and brim around. After drying, shading is done using Agrax Earthshade and next is dry brushing. In order to make the back of the bust nicer, I did touch it up with black paint. I removed paint from the bottom of the bust using sandpaper. To create a nice circle without paint on the base, I glued a piece of sandpaper to the screw and used my drill to remove the paint only in one spot. Finally, it is ready to be glued together using CA glue. Time to take some photos and share them with the world. Watch my other videos, they are right here, and see you next time.